On the street. Miami Heat yesterday, victorious against the Toronto Raptors. Fun game, dude. It was a fun game against those scrappy Raptors. It was, first of all, I don't think you're allowed to be on the Raptors if you have a wingspan under 6'10", because it looks like
crazy.
Other than Fred VanVleet, it just looks like you're taking on arms. They are so long, so athletic. And it was a challenge. It was a challenging game last night for the Miami Heat. The Raptors were not going away. Fred VanVleet was basically hot from downtown, and that was it. But they were dangerous in transition, and it was pretty wild. They only played basically Leroy. They played 7 guys, but they really only played like 6 guys because one dude played like 9 minutes. So Nick Nurse is like, I mean, he's riding these dudes. Little Thibodeau and Nick Nurse, yeah. Canadian Thibodeau.
Well, I don't know. Like, you have to be careful because you have no idea who's available.
I don't know who's available.
Like, we don't know what their injury report is.
Because I looked at their starting lineup and I was like, I know all these guys. These guys are pretty good. Like, the starting lineup between Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, really fun rookie. Obviously, we know Precious Achiuwa. OG Anunoby's really talented defensive menace. And then Pascal Siakam, who –
they all look like Siakam.
They're
all lanky and long, and Achiuwa runs like Winslow.
He runs like Winslow? Oh, he's got the touch of Winslow. He's got the touch of Winslow, that's for sure.
No, he runs like him.
What do you mean he runs like him?
Like they run like Napoleon Dynamite.
Well, he got dunked on by Tyler. Dunked on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, sorry, Precious. It happened though, dude. I was there. I don't think he thought that, because here's the thing, Tyler had a lob attempt up to Jimmy, and Jimmy couldn't put it down. Didn't have that bounce in his step. And then Tyler was just like, threw it down, dude. Threw it down with authority.
No. If that was Bam, it would just be a dunk.
Yeah, but it wasn't Bam.
Now we got to give all the superlatives because it was Tyler Johnson. It
wasn't Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson doesn't play for the Heat anymore.
I mean, Tyler Herro. Sorry.
Don't mix up your Tylers.
I know what you're doing.
I'm not doing anything.
I know what you're doing.
What am I doing? What?
Trying to pump up the intangibles.
I'm not pumping up the intangibles. I don't need to pump up the intangibles. There's no need to grade Tyler Herro on an intangibles curve. The dude's good, dude. He has a bag.
Nobody questioned that. You the one brought it up and was like,
he threw it down.
Did you see Tyler Herro dunk?
You're trying to dismiss that wasn't just a good dunk for anyone? For any 6'5" guy?
Of course it was.
I think you
what I'm saying.
You think I'm white guy curving?
Hey, here's the deal. You're 6'5", right? That means you literally have to jump less than 30 inches to dunk.
Yeah, but he dunked it over a 6'10" dude.
Okay.
Good.
Right, that's all
okay,
that's
good
all
enough.
Okay.
I tell you what play
I think you may appreciate it a little bit more because athletic.
I don't like what you're doing.
Amaze you a little bit more.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I would say you're very much like that. You scoff at everything. You scoff if I compliment.
Don't scoff at everything.
You scoff if I compliment somebody's muscles. You're like, he's not that jacked. Not that great.
Here's what I think.
Sorry we didn't all play.
He's a skinny dude.
Sorry we didn't all play against Reggie White.
Here, dude. 6'5", 210 is skinny.
Dante Culpepper could throw it 80 yards on his knees. I'm Leroy Horde.
So this is where we gonna go. So you gonna go to extreme, right?
Is that what we're doing? 2 segments in. We're just gonna fight all day.
Hey, why you guys get mad when somebody sends me material? I wasn't going out of my way to.
You're a rat
then
bastard.
I had to see it. First thing I get up to in the morning, I'm like, what is this?
Such a charlatan. I can attest
and
to that.
I'm just saying, hold on. 6'5", right? Dunking, okay, over anybody is Like, okay,
I mean,
get
Jimmy
it.
was 6'8", and Tyler threw him up a lot, but he could barely get off the ground. I mean, it's not.
I mean, but a lob is different because a lob you're jumping 10 and a half, 11 feet.
I don't think so. I think I just needed him to. He just looked like it just wasn't there. Like he went up for the bounce, and the kangaroo jeans weren't there right there. But Tyler Herro looked good. I tell you what, my favorite play was last night was Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin with that steal, and then just going coast to coast for the dunk. This guy's so good, dude.
Now
really
he's
good.
got.
He's ridiculously athletic.
Such a good defender
right.
too.
He's
not
a
like,
ridiculous defender.
It's really good.
How did they just find this guy?
Here's what they do, okay? And here's what I understand just like from watching sports. They are already amongst the top 1%, 0.011% of basketball players in the world, okay? So they all can play. They all can do something. What the Heat do is they bring guys in and say, oh, you know what? This guy is extremely athletic. If we can get him to play defense, he can guard 1 through 4. And they bring in 2 of those guys. They bring in another guy to go, man, this guy's a tremendous shooter. If we can get him, into Heat shape and have him able to run and off screens and shoot, he'll fit right in.
But how do they know?
And they get a lot of these guys and they do this with them where other teams just look at them as basketball players and throw them into a spot and say, you go do what that spot requires.
But like he goes into this year and he's the other twin. Like his brother Cody is the good twin. And he's like looked upon as the cast side. Like they remember, like it's crazy to think with Caleb Martin. They started the year, they ended the preseason, and they did the thing with his brother. Like, oh, look how cute, Caleb and Cody. They're gonna let Cody and Caleb start together. They're gonna face each other. Oh, adorbs. And then here he is. He's just running roughshod and defending the best player every single night and terrorizing them. Right. It's so impressive.
Knox Money is correct that Caleb Martin is Derrick Jones Jr. with a couple of rocks in his pocket.
No, he's way better put together than Derrick Jones Jr. Because he's got
that's with a couple of rocks in his pocket.
And I'll tell you another thing that he's got.
Thicker.
He's got a stroke, dude.
Oh my goodness, we can learn the lingo.
No, dude, but here's the thing.
I didn't know either.
Like Derrick, I didn't know what he was talking about.
I was like,
Derrick Jones Jr. Derrick Jones Jr. didn't have a jump shot to save his life. This guy's got a bag.
Yeah.
Like he's got.
That's true.
Derrick Jones Jr. move was dunk on your head, and every once in a while, like if he was feeling froggy, he'd hit a couple from downtown. And Caleb Martin shooting 37% from downtown.
I'm honestly just impressed by his defense, bro.
His defense is ridiculous.
He is a menace.
Yeah.
Like he just arms.
So when do they
when they do the little arm thing, like the little like the wind sock.
When
yes.
So when do they send KZ Okpala packing? Because they want to make him eligible for the playoff roster. I'm just wondering.
Guy's still on our team, huh?
He is still technically on the team, but he doesn't. He's got a wrist injury. Like when do they? Like they're gonna send some. This guy's playing in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he's he's closing games. So clearly, Eric Spoelstra loves him, trusts him, because you're starting to see it. Like even Duncan, there was a frustration last night with Spo. Spo played him 15 minutes, and he's like, "All right, you know what, Max Strus, I'm riding my hot guys right now. That's it. Bam's back, Jimmy's back. It's time to start trimming this down." Omer didn't play at all yesterday. They went with Dedmon as the backup center. Gabe Vincent didn't play.
It's unbelievable.
Crazy, isn't it? They're deep though. It's
Big Yurt.
I know. But Dedmon played good.
Can't get wait. Them 10, 15 rebounds ain't good enough to be on this team.
It wasn't good enough to be on the team. No, it wasn't. Right. It wasn't.
The problem is, and here's the problem. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. You can put Dedmon on the 3-point line.
Yes.
Right? And you can open up the floor with Dedmon.
Mm-hmm.
Big Yurt going to have a foot in the paint at all times.
Yeah, people were telling me yesterday, like I was getting replies, Yurt can shoot. I'm like, yeah, we saw it a little bit in Summer League, but really, like, he's not there yet. They're not having Dedmon.
He's not Dedmon.
Yeah, Dedmon has that. Dedmon always is going to have that, trailing three, and Dedmon's not going to play with Bam either. So I don't know, like, what the argument here is. It's not like Bam and Dedmon are going to play together.
Right. And then that's the other thing. I really think that at this moment in time, Spo's just trying to get Bam up to speed. And so the other two guys might not play as much because they're going to try to get Bam, back into shape,
Right.
back into his normal minutes.
Yeah, he
And
definitely.
then once that figures out, then they'll try to say, well, hey, I wonder if we play, we're playing some really big dudes. I wonder if we play Bam and Yurt. What also is going to happen is, and what I think is going to happen in the future, is as Bam opens up or gets that, you know, longer than mid-range jumper. So I mean, when he starts taking a couple of threes every now and then he can do something like that. Then they might play Bam and Big Yurt or Bam and Dedmon together because it gives you a lot more flexibility, knowing that you're basically gonna have, maybe 3.5 guys that can shoot the three. Because I'm Jimmy every now and then will get hot. But he was kind of like D Wade, D Wade.
Yeah, he's not a
go
shooter.
A month, and then all of a sudden he'll make 6.
Yeah, like yesterday, Bam looked definitely a little bit rusty as far as like getting that offensive touch around the rim. Although I will say he got to the free throw line a bunch, which was good. Like you saw yesterday, because the Heat did. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that speaks to them being a good team, is that they didn't shoot the three a lot yesterday, where they've been bombs away for most of this run. And yesterday you got a bunch of free throws from Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler, which is great to see, against a very long team. And so that's because, a team like that, that's very easy to get comfortable and want to take a lot of threes on the outside, and they didn't do that. They were trying to get into the paint and attacking, and that was very effective. But a little bit rusty on some catches yesterday for sure. And here he was yesterday after the game on just what he missed the most.
Getting to be in the game, enjoying your teammates' success. I feel like that's the biggest thing I missed. Being out there, being in an environment when the crowd is rocking, and JB's about to get a triple-double, and I'm jumping up and down for the 9th rebound.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler did get a triple-double yesterday, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Beautiful kick out to P.J. Tucker. P.J. Tucker nailing his lone three of the game, really iced it. Huge bucket from P.J. Tucker. There was no Kyle Lowry last night. He was out for personal reasons, and hopefully he'll be back for the Portland Trailblazers game, which will be on Wednesday.
Star Wars night.
Yep, I'll be boots on the ground for that.
That's right. Now you like, I get the feeling, and this is all credit to Spo. When you talk about how they got to the free throw line a lot, and they did this, and they were being really aggressive, even though those guys were tall. It almost seems like that was the game plan, because they have the weapons to do that now, to go back to what they were normally doing, and as far as leading the league and free throw attempts as a team, right? When they had, when Jimmy was out and Bam was out, and those are your main guys that actually shoot all the free throws, then they became a 3-point shooting team.
Yeah.
And they went with the hot hand, and they did stuff that way, and that was the way they were going to do it. So, I mean, credit to them to have the flexibility as a team to be able to win games in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and I also love the fact that Tyler got to the line 7 times. I think that's big. That's going to be big for his game. Like if that is something that he truly can start adding, that he's going to start getting to the line. And we've been seeing it a lot more. The last 3 games, he's gotten to the free throw line at least 6 times. Actually, 4 out of his last 5 games. That's big, because he's like, those are easy buckets, and it's telling you that he's got more confidence going to the rim. This has always been his tough matchup. Is Tyler Herro with his, everybody calls him T-Rex arms. Now he goes into a team.
You call him that?
No, people do. He said it himself. I'm not allowed to get criticized for that. If he self-diagnoses, he goes up against the ultimate anti-T-Rex arm team, and he carves them up.